Hello all, myself Arya Raveendran, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, Malabar College of Advanced Studies, Vengara. Today we will have a look into some of the personality disorders. So what is a personality? Personality is a set of unique traits and behaviors that characterize the individual. And what is a personality disorder? Personality disorders are a group of mental health conditions that are characterized by inflexible and atypical pattern of thinking, feeling and behaving. These inner experiences and behaviors often differ from the expectation of the culture in which someone lives. A personality to be considered as a disorder has to follow some criteria. Personality disorders are often classified into three clusters: Cluster A, Cluster B and Cluster C personality disorders. Today, I will be discussing about Cluster B personality disorder. Cluster B personality disorder includes histrionic, narcissistic, antisocial and borderline personality disorders. Individuals with these disorders share a tendency to be dramatic, emotional and erratic. Histrionic personality disorder. Excessive attention-seeking behavior and emotionality are the key characteristics of individuals with histrionic personality disorder. An individual with histrionic personality disorder tend to feel unappreciated if they are not the center of attention. Their lively, dramatic and excessively extroverted styles often ensure that they can charm others into attending to them. But these qualities do not lead to stable and satisfying relationships because others tire of providing this level of attention. In craving, stimulation and attention, their appearance and behavior are often quite theatrical and emotional, as well as sexually provocative and seductive. They may attempt to control their partners through seductive behaviors and emotional manipulation, but they also show a good deal of dependence. Their speech is often vague and impressionistic, and they are usually considered self-centered, vain and excessively concerned about the approval of others, who see them as overly reactive, shallow and insincere. Narcissistic personality disorder. Individuals with narcissistic personality disorder show an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a preoccupation with being admired and a lack of empathy for the feeling of others. They have a grandiose sense of self-importance, that is, they exaggerate achievements and talents, expect to be recognized as superior without big achievements. They are preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty or ideal love. They believe that she or he is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with someone special or in high status. They require excessive admiration, has a sense of entitlement, that is unreasonable expectation of especially favorable treatment or automatic complaints with his or her expectations. They are interpersonally exploitative, that is, they take advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. They lack empathy. As I told earlier, they are unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. They are often envious of others or believe that others are envious of them. They show arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. Antisocial personality disorder. Individuals with antisocial personality disorder continually violate and show disregard for the right of others through deceitful, aggressive or antisocial behavior, typically without remorse or loyalty to anyone. They tend to be impulsive, irritable and aggressive and to show a pattern of generally irresponsible. This pattern of behavior must have been occurring since the age of 15, and before age 15 the person must have had symptoms of conduct disorders, a similar disorder occurring in children and young adults who show persistent pattern of aggression toward people or animal, destruction of property, deceitfulness or theft, and serious violation of rules at home or in school. Borderline personality disorder. People with borderline personality disorder show a pattern of behavior characterized by impulsivity and instability in interpersonal relationship, self-image and moods. The central characteristic of borderline personality disorder is affective instability, manifested by unusually intense emotional response to environmental triggers with delayed recovery to a baseline emotional state. Affective instability is also characterized by drastic and rapid shift from one emotion to another. In addition, people with borderline personality disorder have a high unstable self-image or sense of self, which is sometimes described as impoverished or fragmented. These people have highly unstable interpersonal relationships. These relationships tend to be intense but stormy, typically involving over-idealizations of friends or lovers that later end in bitter disillusionment, disappointment, and anger. Nevertheless, they may make desperate effort to avoid real or imagined abandonment because their fear of abandonment are so intense. Another very important feature of borderline personality is impulsivity, characterized by rapid responding to environmental triggers without thinking about long-term consequences. These individuals' high levels of impulsivity combined with their extreme affective instability often lead to erratic self-destructive behavior such as gambling sprees or reckless driving. Suicide attempts, sometimes flagrantly manipulative, can be part of the clinical picture. Self-mutilation, which means repetitive cutting behavior, is another characteristic feature of borderline personality. I hope the topic is clear. You may find people in your daily life with some of the traits, but you can never classify them as having disorder because, as I said earlier, to classify a personality to be a disorder, you have to fulfill some of the criteria. So never try to classify someone having some kind of traits into a disorder. Thank you.